All right, so dig me, I am finally back. It is not later tonight, it is many nights later. Another great misadventure of mine. By the way, shout out to Lucky Dog Guitars. I got this cool cap from them the other day. I'm a big fan of Anthony's builds, and if I were commissioning a custom build today, he is the guy I would probably pick for my first choice. Go check him out, show him some love. No affiliation, I'm just a fan. But yes, here I am again. Strangely appropriate shirt considering my soldering struggles. Back with the Diegocaster, I now have a Bootstrap A3 pickup installed. It was a little bit of an ordeal because I got the old one out and tried to put the new one in, and I don't know why, but something was screwy with, I think I bought the Fat Lion King set new, so they should be wound to standard Cavalier winding directions, but for whatever reason, when I got rid of the Fat Lion bridge and put in the Nashville, I had to reverse the leads on the Nashville so they wouldn't be out of phase. So I don't know why that was. And when I tried to do the same thing with the Bootstrap wouldn't work like that, and I didn't know why. And I thought I just had a bad solder joint. So I spent hours trying to solder this thing better, and finally ordered a new set of controls and stuff and wired up from scratch and still had trouble. And finally then did some research and learned that when you have a bridge pickup that has a ground wired to the soldered to the base plate, you can't reverse the leads or it won't work. So I had to reverse the leads on the neck pickup, which worked fine, but a lot of wasted frustration. And I'm very unhappy to report, I don't know if this shows, right here, there is now a scratch in the finish, in spite of my using drop cloths and other things to protect the finish. Somewhere in my finishing ordeal that got a blemish on it. So it's not terrible, but it may result in me sanding this, at least the top back at some point, and refinishing the top. Again, the top of this guitar has had it's been sanded back to bare and refinished like 3 or 4 times since I first undertook to refinish it, because I just wasn't happy with how good the finish looked. And I finally got the finish looking gorgeous, and this happens. So we'll see how I feel about it this winter when the weather is better and the humidity's lower. Maybe that'll get done. Maybe I'm just going to call it character in the first of many marks. But I digress. So I have this thing in. I took measurements with a little card that I got from Philadelphia Luther Tools for the treble and bass height of the Cavalier Nashville that I took out. And this wasn't really an intentional part of my comparison to have them at the exact same height. But, I got it in at this height and it sounds pretty good. It's slightly louder than the neck, which I think it kind of should be. Sounds pretty good. I may adjust it more after the fact, but since it's same, I figured why not leave it. So I'll put the other details about all the nerdy specs from Bootstrap and Cavalier in the descriptions for both videos, as well as links to both companies' pages. Honestly, I've had a number of pickups from Ryan. I also have his Paladuros in the Granville, and I have owned a number of Cavaliers as well. Fat Lion, Fat Lion King. I had an overwound Nocaster. It was the only one I didn't really like. It was like 11K. It was really overwound. I had the Nashville and Lion King. And I've kind of wanted to try a 51-52. So I may grab one of those or a Bootstrap extra crispy at some point to try in the Granville. But both these guys make great pickups very affordably, especially Bootstrap. You wouldn't know it to look at their prices right now, but their prices are artificially inflated on their site right now because they're backlogged and they're not taking orders. But normally their pickups are super cheap. So, and the quality is super good. So enough chit chat. Let's get into the demo. You can side by side this with part 1 and see what you think. I'll try not to screw up the playing too much. And maybe I'll talk a little more at the end. And I'm going to try to play everything more or less the way I played it in the last video. And I do have to grab my earplugs. And then we'll get started. Okay, straight into input 2. Super long chord, no effects. Volume is on about 6 on the little punk. Here we go. And the tone is going to be all the way up for all of these. And I'm just like the first video, I'm skipping the neck position by itself because it's irrelevant to this demo. All right. Well, it's kind of a goofy ending, but you get an idea how they sound. So I don't know if it really comes through in the video or not, but the attack on the bridge is softer. So it sounds good. It's kind of what I had hoped for and expected. It has a nice brightness to it. And I'm happy with that. I actually like the parallel position better with this pickup, with this bridge pickup, than I did with the Nashville. Just sounds really nice in that position. That I usually kind of reserve that position for like rockabilly and funk, but I could definitely see playing some jazz in the parallel position with this pickup combination. I feel like maybe I just need some time to get used to it, but I feel like the series position is almost too dark. Maybe not. Yeah, I like both of them. They're different. I feel like I have 4 really usable sounds with this combination, and that's kind of what I was going for. So I don't know why I have that buzzing. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. For what? It was like 48 bucks shipped, something like that. Where are you going to find a really good quality aftermarket bridge pickup for a price like that? That's not made in China or something, you know, and you know how I feel about buying from China. So, it's hard to beat Bootstrap for their prices, and their quality is right up there with Cavalier, Porter, OC Duff, who else have I tried? Bill Lawrence, you know. In fact, I realized, this is kind of funny and a little embarrassing. I realized after I ordered this pickup that it is the exact same specs as the OC Duff Plankster that I used to have about 6 years ago. So when you start kind of looping back in your tone quest to pickups, or at least pickup recipes that you've already tried, it's probably time to to either try some radically different recipes, or maybe just focus more on your playing, which, you know, as you can tell, I need more practice. So and that leads me to another kind of channel announcement. In the next few weeks, a lot of changes are going to be happening in my life and in my schedule. Right now, work is really busy, as you can imagine, with all the COVID stuff. So I am working 4 or 5 days a week, which works out to up to like 48 hours a week, sometimes more. So I'm working a lot. That's part of the reason you haven't seen as much content from me lately. I'm also just getting started. Today was my first session with a personal trainer, so I'm going to be doing that twice a week for the next at least 3 months, possibly longer. Hopefully you'll see some improvement there. We both will. I did weigh myself today, and this wasn't really a start goal of mine or anything, but I'm down to 179, which is the lowest weight I've been in many a year. I think about I want to say about a year ago this time, I was sitting at around 190 something. And at my high point, I think I hit like 197. I was getting kind of poorly. So, yeah, I'm excited about that, but that is going to cut into my time a little bit. However, on the flip side, I'm also starting guitar lessons, I think week after next, once a week for most of the remainder of this year, at least. And I'm hoping that you'll see some improvement in my playing and maybe some more performance pieces as well. Thanks guys for checking in. Have a good one. God bless and stay twangy.